All right, let's dive in. Think about it.
Hmm.
It's 2025, the job market. It's not really a straightforward path anymore, is it? It feels more like a constantly changing map.
Totally. And that's the world facing, well, folks who are 20 to 25 right now, Gen Z, really hitting their stride, but in a landscape that's seen some pretty dramatic shifts.
Yeah, huge shifts. We're talking digitization speeding up like crazy, AI popping up everywhere.
Right. And all those social changes we're still navigating after the pandemic. It's a different ballgame.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're honing in on the skills, the really crucial ones for this generation to succeed, both professionally and, personally too. We've dug into some interesting insights.
And I think a key point is, sure, this generation grew up online. They're digitally native, you could say.
Hmm.
But just being online isn't enough anymore. It's about combining those tech skills with, well, really strong human abilities. That's the winning formula.
Couldn't agree more. And for you listening, if you like getting up to speed quickly, getting the core info without all the fluff.
Yeah, this is kind of your shortcut.
Exactly. We're extracting the essentials, aiming for clarity, for actionable stuff you can actually use. Our mission, figure out what really matters for 20 to 25-year-olds navigating 2025.
Let's do it.
Okay, so tech first. We know Gen Z gets tech, but it's way beyond just scrolling social media now, right?
Oh, absolutely. The baseline for digital literacy has jumped significantly. It's not just using your phone.
Right.
For this age group in 2025, really commanding technology, understanding the tools, it's foundational, it's table stakes now.
And the insights we looked at kept bringing up specific tools,
Yeah.
things like getting really fluid with collaboration platforms. Think Notion, Slack, Zoom.
Mhm.
They're kind of the new office corridors.
They really are. And surprisingly, perhaps, spreadsheets are still king. Excel, Google Sheets, that analytical power is huge.
Yeah, and basic design literacy too, using tools like Canva, maybe Figma.
Mm.
It seems to be valuable even in non-design roles.
It gives you an edge. But if you zoom out, those are sort of the operational tools. The real leverage, according to our sources, comes from diving a bit deeper
Deeper how?
into things like programming, maybe Python or SQL, or understanding automation, like RPA, robotic process automation.
Automating the repetitive stuff.
Exactly. Those skills are becoming big differentiators for getting hired, especially in areas like data analysis or web development, which are just booming.
And then there's the elephant in the room. AI, ChatGPT, Midjourney, all these tools.
It's not just about knowing of them, is it?
No, it's about figuring out how to actually use them.
Right.
How can these AI tools and automation in general be applied practically in your field? How can they augment what you do?
That's the million-dollar question. It's about working with the tech, not just being overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
So a question for you listening might be, are you experimenting? Are you actively trying these tools out?
Good point. Okay, let's shift gears a little because the tech stuff is vital, but the insights also heavily emphasize soft skills.
Yes, and they were very clear. These are not soft in the sense of unimportant anymore. They're absolutely critical.
Totally. You could be a tech wizard, but if you can't communicate your ideas or work in a team,
Your impact is limited. Effective communication is huge. That means clear writing emails, reports, that kind of thing, but also speaking, like presenting your ideas confidently.
and think about the workplace now. It's often hybrid. Teams are spread out, maybe across cultures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So collaborating effectively, whether you're remote or in person, with people who might have very different backgrounds, that takes real skill. Strong interpersonal abilities.
And resilience. Let's
Okay.
talk about that. The world keeps throwing curveballs, economic uncertainty, tech disruptions.
Right. Being able to manage stress, bounce back, adapt. These aren't just buzzwords. They're survival skills in a way.
It's about building that adaptability muscle, isn't it? Not just reacting when things get tough.
Precisely. And being resilient helps you navigate all the noise, all the information constantly hitting us, which brings us neatly to critical thinking.
Oh, yeah. Information overload is real. So being able to sift through it all, figure out what's credible, avoid misinformation, that's a superpower now.
Definitely. And linked to that is creativity. The sources really push this idea. It's not just about solving existing problems.
It's about finding new ways.
Exactly. Developing unconventional solutions, thinking outside the box. Super important if you're entrepreneurial or working on something disruptive.
So we've got tech, we've got soft skills, critical thinking, creativity. But the world keeps changing, so how do you keep up?
Adaptability and continuous learning, upskilling. That's the next big piece.
Having that growth mindset, as they call it.
Yeah, being genuinely willing to learn new things, tackle challenges, see mistakes as learning opportunities. And it's not just abstract. The insights mention practical stuff like online courses, Coursera, Udemy.
Or getting certifications from places like Google or Meta. Tangible proof of new skills.
Right, taking ownership of your learning journey. And interestingly, languages still came up.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with translation tech getting better.
Apparently so. English is obviously key globally, but adding something like Chinese or German or French, it can still provide a real competitive edge, access to different markets, different perspective.
Opens doors. Okay, so those are the broad strokes.
Yeah,
How does this translate into specific careers? Let's get practical.
good idea. So if you're leaning towards business or starting your own thing,
Yeah.
the sources highlighted understanding personal finance, crucial baseline, but also digital marketing skills, SEO, Google Ads, how to actually reach people online, and thinking about scalable business models.
Makes sense. What about tech roles specifically?
Well, beyond the coding basics, things like cybersecurity are massive. Protecting data is paramount.
Sure.
Blockchain keeps coming up, that secure ledger technology, and even low-code development building apps faster without needing deep coding expertise for everything.
Interesting. And for the creative folks?
Yeah.
Artists, writers, designers.
It's increasingly digital there, too. Digital storytelling, crafting narratives for online platforms, video editing is huge tools like Premiere, DaVinci Resolve.
And personal branding, right? Getting your work seen.
Absolutely critical. Building that online presence, maybe a portfolio, making sure people can find you and understand your unique value. It ties everything together.
Okay, this is a lot of ground we've covered. Tech, soft skills, specific areas. How do you make this actionable? How does someone listening actually start doing this stuff?
Great question. It's about breaking it down. The insights suggested thinking in terms of timelines, like what could you achieve in 1 year?
Okay, 1 year.
Maybe focus on mastering one advanced digital tool, like really level up your Excel with Power BI, perhaps. And pick one soft skill to actively work on, maybe public speaking, join a club or something.
Concrete goals. I like it. What about further out, say, 3 years?
3 years could be about validation, getting a recognized certification, Google Analytics, maybe a Scrum Master if you're into project management, or actually launching that side project you've been thinking about.
Turning ideas into reality.
Okay.
And 5 years. What's the horizon look like then?
5 years. The goal seems to be becoming a specialist, really carving out a niche. Maybe you become the go-to person for, say, digital sustainability or an expert in automating business processes.
Deep expertise. Okay, so bringing it all together, what's the main takeaway for staying relevant?
I think the core message is that Gen Z is uniquely positioned. They have this incredible opportunity to lead digital transformation, but also social change.
Because they grew up with the tech.
Partly, yeah. But the real power comes from balancing that tech fluency with those uniquely human skills we talked about. Creativity, empathy, strategic thinking. Stuff that's really hard to automate.
The human element.
Exactly. And underpinning all of it is that need for lifelong learning. You just can't stop. Plus, actively building your personal brand, LinkedIn, portfolios, and nurturing your professional network. Those connections matter.
So adaptability isn't just a skill, it's like the foundation for everything else.
Pretty much, it's the prerequisite for navigating what's coming.
Okay, so wrapping up, the path forward for 20 to 25-year-olds in 2025. It really boils down to this blend, doesn't it? Tech mastery combined with strong, irreplaceable human skills.
That's the essence of it. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening, looking at all these skills we've discussed, which area really jumps out at you? What resonates with your interests, your ambitions?
And maybe more importantly,
Yeah.
what's one small thing, just one tiny step you could actually do today to start developing one of those skills?
Yeah, moving from listening to doing. That's where the magic happens.
Absolutely. The future isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you build. And investing in this mix of skills seems like the best way to build a strong one.